All right, so we're going to talk about the jab a little bit. As we'll start off, I came from a Tang Soo Do background, some boxing, and some Muay Thai. So predominantly for me, I fight from a bladed stance, right? So, squared, shoulders more straightforward, bladed, body to the side, right? So everything I'm going to talk about pertaining to the jab is specific to like a bladed stance. So there's advantages and disadvantages to squared and bladed. There's no like, I'm not one of these Stauber style people. Like, I just think there's a lot of versatile and beautiful things throughout the whole pantheon of arts that like you gravitate towards some things, you gravitate towards other things. You were introduced one way, or you really like that, or your body or your mentality is suited to that way, and that's it. So anyway, with that little preface, bladed stance. So for me, start with the jab, right? Now, if I stand squared and do this, right hand's up, okay? I mean, yeah, right hand, back hand's up, but arms out, right? So from here, jab with my body bladed, I mean squared. If I blade out though, and I'm not moving my feet at all, can you see the change in length? How much more distance I'm getting out of my jab? Now, I'm usually the shorter person when I'm sparring or fighting or whatever. Like most of the time, 80% of the time, I swear I feel like I'm the shorter person of length and stature. So I have to maximize the distance that I'm getting from my jab. If I'm here, look, I'm getting that much more. There's a few more inches there. The other thing is, being bladed is going to allow you, look, my shoulder, my chin is tucked right behind the shoulder with backhand up. It's going to be hard to counter over top of that jab. Now, as long as you're not bringing the jab, if you're bringing the jab out and then you're letting it fall down on the way back, then you present an easier target for like a counter right, especially if you're talking about somebody who's in a orthodox stance. And most times, I think people are. I think the stats say that. Anyhow, but shoot it where you're protected, you're bladed here, bladed off to the side, you're getting full extension out of the jab, you're getting your full length. There's no way you're going to be able to jab with a guy that's substantially taller and longer than you without using angles in addition to the full length of your jab, but you have to get that full length. If it's back here, somebody's tall as John, for example, if you're not getting the full length out of yourself, I mean, we're already in a bad way when you are using it, but you really have to get that full length out of there. I'm not sure how far in depth we could go. We could talk about jabs to the stomach and getting below that center line, that kind of thing. But it still all has to really be built off of a full bladed stance and keeping that backhand up. That's super important. When it comes to, I'll just throw a couple more tidbits. I don't want to talk you out of death. This is already like 3 minutes. Rooting myself at my base, and I don't have the camera down that low. So maybe if that becomes a thing and we can talk more about it, we can do some more. But you do got to get some bend in those knees, and your back leg, your back quadricep, you should feel when that's coiled, even if you're not stepping forward with the jab, which is where you would feel it when you push forward. And again, energy forward, not energy up, energy forward. Even when you're locked down and in position and you're trying to generate power, it comes from the back. It comes from that back rear quadricep. You should feel it when it juts out. It can't just be an arm punch. If it's just an arm punch, it's not going to have the effectiveness that you want from it. I mean, I personally, like I said, as a smaller person or a shorter person, you got to maximize. You got to get everything you do should have purpose, complete intent. You should know what it all serves a purpose, even if it's a decoy or a throwaway, and then it should all have something on it. Real life is not a sparring match or and I love boxing and MMA and that kind of thing. Real life fighting is different, and you may only get a couple of opportunities. So I just feel like everything you do, even your jabs, should have some thump on those things. So anyway, hopefully that touched on some stuff. If there's anything, we're in quarantine. I have nothing but time. So yeah, but yeah, thanks, Joel. Appreciate you, brother.